Thank you for staying with us on today's section, your premium dial today 95.1 FM. Is the Tech Talk segment, and this week on Tech Talk, we are going to creativity and growth. Today we are diving into one of the most important conversations in modern marketing, moving beyond just being online to building something that truly performs. Because in today's digital space, attention is everywhere, but conversation is what separates noise from real impact. So the big question is, how do you build a digital brand that doesn't just get seen, but actually sells? To break this down with us today is a digital marketer and strategist who specializes in turning online presence into structured growth and measurable results. I'm joined in the studio. I hope I didn't get her name or her titles wrong, by Andrea Chymdii, who is joining me. Andrea, did I make any mistakes today in your name?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
I hope I didn't get your
No, it's fine. It's actually
Yeah. So, thank you for joining me on the show today, Andre.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, when you hear the phrase building a digital brand that actually sells,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, when you hear it, what does it mean to you?
Okay, so the thing is, if you're building a digital brand, you're building it because you're a business, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing is, you're not there for the sake of just being there. You're there because that brand, that online presence, has a task to do for you. So what's that task? It needs to bring customers to you. It needs to generate what? It needs to generate income, not just likes. So which is why I have an issue with people that are coming to dance on Instagram. When you came to sell markets, you understand? So let's say you sell women's shoes and bags or clothes. You should, after dancing, the dancing should lead people to come to your shop eventually and pick out that bag they will use and pair with that shoe in their wardrobe to use and tantalize hobby on Mother's Day. You understand what I'm saying? It has to be relatable.
I do.
So it's not about, I'm online. Everybody is online. But you're online for a purpose. So, that's what building a digital brand that actually sells means for me.
Interesting. So what separates a random online presence from a structured digital brand?
Oh, I love this question. I love this question a lot. Because a random online presence will just wake up and start posting like a blog. Oh, what happened to this particular important influencer today? This is what happened though. This one, that one. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Then the next day, you now post a motivational quote. Then the next day, you now say, this particular influencer did something and I like what he did or I like what she did. No, that's not the work you came to do. You understand? So a random online presence, they're just posting everything at any time. But a structured brand is very intentional. And you tend to see it in the way, like once you visit a page that is a structured brand, what happens is that we should be able to immediately understand what you're selling. We should understand who you are for. We should also understand your price range, and then see why we should buy from you instead of all the other people, all the other vendors out there you get. So that's one thing about having a structured online presence.
Interesting. If you're listening to us, you're on today's section, today FM 95.1. You're on, I'm mixing it up. You're on today 95.1 FM, and we are discussing building a digital brand that sells with my guest, Andrea Chymdii. We're live on Facebook, today 95.1 FM. You could watch us live. Drop your questions or your comments, and I'll definitely read them on the show. So, Andrea, why do many digital brands struggle to convert attention into revenue?
I really like the questions they're asking me because, so the thing is this, because they lack strategy, so they tend to forget that customers are here to buy. You need to guide them. You don't just post the products and that. You need to guide them and tell them this is what you should do. To place an order, these are the things you do. You need to influence their, Some people might just like your post and save it. But by the time they see, nice bag, you don't have any pricing information. You've not told us this is a WhatsApp group or WhatsApp chat where you can get discounts. Or you've not told us that, if you buy on the website, you get 10% off, Some good vendors here in Port Harcourt, I'm not going to name them now. They've not paid us for all of that. But, some vendors do a good job as well. They be like, if it's 5,000 on Instagram, but on the website you're going to get it for 4,500, you're going to get it for 4,000 naira. So they're telling you this is the best place to go and shop. So they're telling you this is the thing. If you want to move further from just seeing us on Instagram, go to the website, go and shop from us. You get. So that's the thing. Sometimes, and another thing a lot of vendors forget to do is follow up. People have chatted with you, and follow up is not just about, you did not buy and welcome and buy. No, follow up, like, how are you doing? How's everything going? Let's say during the holidays, how was your Easter? Happy Easter. That's follow up. You get? That's follow up. Because if you don't do all of that, every brand, every business needs to understand that there is the long, like some people are like long range customers in the sense that they can know you this year and finally buy from you next year.
Yeah.
But there's some people that they will know you today and buy from you today because they have the money, they have everything, and you have what they need. Some people like you, like your brand, but probably don't have what they need. But when you finally get what they need, they can now eventually buy from you. So as a business, you need to understand if you're doing your marketing right, you are taking care of the people, the hot customers now that can buy from you. You're also taking care of the warm and the cold customers because they might eventually still buy from you. So you don't want to leave any money on the table, so to speak.
Interesting. Now, what are the core building blocks of a profitable digital brand today?
Okay, so first thing, you need visibility. You need systems. You can have visibility, but if you don't have systems, it's a problem because how do we now move people from point A to point B, point C to point final where they finally buy?
Yeah.
And even after they buy, you want them to come and buy again, right? So how do you nurture that relationship you've had with your clients? You also need clarity and trust. Clarity is very important because if we are not sure what you're doing, if you're not clear on the services and products you have, we can just come and be like, I need to say this at this point. When it comes to clarity, let's say, for example, people that are part of trade fairs and all of that. At the time of the trade fair, they're advertising the trade fair. All we are seeing is the trade fair on your page. Nobody is seeing what you're actually selling. Post the bag, post the shoe, post the cloth, post the food items. So you can see what you're selling while you're promoting the trade fair there. But some people, let me use Instagram because I'm very conversant with Instagram. When you open your person's Instagram profile page, the first three, and then the next three, and then the next, that's the first 9, should be clear what you are selling. What you're selling visually, because Instagram is a very visual space. Facebook, you can even, talk about, you can talk more, tell stories, and people still know what you're doing. But Instagram is a very visual space. We need to be seeing I'm very Igbo, Ngwa here. Let's be seeing the markets. Let's be seeing it out there. So if you're not seeing it, how do we know? So there is trust, there's clarity, there's visibility, and then there is systems. These are the 4 building blocks. A lot of people get the visibility correct. They get the trust and clarity. Sometimes they don't get systems. So it's always important to make sure you have all 4 on lock. Yeah. So
how important is strategy compared to content in the early stages of brand building?
Strategy it matters more than anything. It matters way more. Like, it's not that you're doing. You cannot be for everybody. Even the shoes and bags, you think that all the women wear shoes, all the women wear bags. No. There's some kind of women that will not carry some kind of bags. There's some kind of women. Like, I'm a woman, I like fashion. There are structured bags that, if you call my name, I'll be there. But you see all these tote bags that don't have shape or form. Count me out. Then there are some small bags that... it's not me and you because I used to carry luggage. You understand? You can even see how big my bag currently, and this is just everyday essentials once I leave the house. So what am I saying? They are targeted audience. So you see that strategy thing, you need a strategy to even know what you are doing. If not, you just be shooting, like you're just doing anything willy-nilly. That you don't even know where you're coming from. You don't know where you're going to. You don't know. And that's why they say, I'm crying, I need sales. You don't come down to do the work. And starts with a lot of thinking. So you have to ask yourself, what are you targeting? Are you selling affordable school bags? Are you selling luxury heels for working class women? Are you looking at, like, who are you targeting? Even in the women that is for everybody. Who are you targeting? Are you looking for the people that can actually shell out 100K to buy one bag? That's a different ball game, separate from the woman that would spend, that maybe the max she will spend on a handbag is like 30,000 naira. You understand? Yeah. So that's where strategy comes in. You now know, how do you approach this person that you're trying to, how do you now organize your content? What kind of content do you even post? You know, because it's very key. If you're selling, I saw a video one time, somebody was talking about he's in luxury, and your background is very blurry and dark. The item was quite well made. The item was nice. However, you are not presenting luxury. He was wearing something that what we call coats in Nigeria. He was wearing coats with gloves, black gloves.
Yeah.
And
I think I saw that video on X.
Yes, it was on
where,
X. Yeah.
So a senior person in tech commented on it also.
Absolutely. He was wearing coats. And actually what he had, I think, was a pair of shoes, like well designed, like bespoke, handcrafted. You could tell this is nice. But the entire, so what a lot of businesses don't understand, that you can have a luxury item, but your demeanor, the way you're doing your video, the name of your brand self is not giving luxury. You know. So luxury is not just, oh, you slap the name luxury to the item. Luxury is the entire experience. The entire experience, end to end. How does the person feel handling that item? How does the person feel even walking into your shop? How does the person feel getting to see your social media, your Instagram page? What are the colors? What are the things that you are using to communicate that feeling? Luxury is a feeling. Like when people say, oh, I'm into branding. At the end of the day, it is you are doing flex. You're not into branding. You're just producing materials for people. It's not branding. Branding is an experience. How do you make people feel about the brand? What do people think when they think about your brand? You know. So that's, you know, I could talk about this, but let's have the next question, please.
Okay. Now, in your experience, what are those common mistakes that people make in digital marketing today?
Oh, a lot. So one of the common mistakes could be people thinking that, especially for businesses, right? Yeah. People thinking that it's something that, oh, because I have a business, all I can just do is throw money at the thing. You know, that's one very annoying. I don't even know, because I'm being very passionate about this. Yeah. Don't just throw money at something. Don't just assume you can hire service professionals. Yes, there are service professionals that can do it, but the truth of the matter is that most of the times, what the budget the vendor has or the business owner has is nowhere near the kind of service they want. So calm down and learn these things. And don't learn it scatteredly. Calm down and actually understand, you know. And then being inconsistent is one thing. Like, I have some vendors that will tell me, oh, I need to make sales. Like when they wake up, I need to make sales. This is April 27th. You have an event for 24th of May, for example. Let's say a trade fair. Because I know we are very popular with trade fairs in Port Harcourt. Let's say a trade fair. The last time you posted on your Instagram and your Facebook was October last year. Where and how are we going to save Peter and save Paul? You know? Yeah. Because we need to, that you want to make sales of, let's say, 2 million naira in that event, but you've not even started posting about your content. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And vendors need to understand that things take time. Marketing is not magic. There is no, I need to go viral, I need to do this, I need to hire influencers. It's not by that. You can spend money on influencers. If you didn't spend money on your brand and take the time to hire a marketing agency or a very, like, an expert service professional that would, because I mean, when it comes to handling a brand, it takes minimum of 2 to 3 people. You have the person in charge of all graphics, like all video, editing videos, shooting videos, editing videos, doing graphics. Sometimes it could be these two roles embedded in one, because I mean, this economy, we need to find a way to streamline things as much as possible. The person who is doing the copy can also be doing the SEO for you and all of that, making sure your hashtags are SEO and AEO, geo optimized and all of those things. Then the community manager. Sometimes it can't even just be one person, so at least 2 to 3 people, so that you're able to get, like, no matter what, they're able to keep going, you know. So some people are very inconsistent with that. They throw money at things and expect magic, and then they just copy trends without understanding their audience. Your audience are not, let's say, like, taking it back to the luxury thing. You are a luxury brand. You know you sell luxury jewelry, for example. And then you're busy reposting something, an influencer that does skits. And maybe in his skits, I'm not calling anybody's name in his skits, person's wearing shoe and tying wrapper and wearing one scattered wig. And you're reposting it and saying, hilarious. Please remember, we sell jewelry. Make it make sense. The dots are not connecting because your audience they don't relate with things like this, you know. So that's like, these are the mistakes. They just do things because, they found. Would you rather have 1 million likes than have 1,000 people reaching out to you and saying, please, I want to buy your jewelry? Which one puts more money in the bank at the end of the day?
I think it's those who are buying.
Exactly. So the thing is, a lot of vendors are chasing something else and ignoring the other thing. If you align, if you follow a proper strategy and do the right things, you see those likes and comments and all of that. You may not see so much of that. But you see good engagements. But the thing is that you see people that are reaching out in the DM. As they're reaching out in the DM, first and foremost, collect their number. Can we chat you up on WhatsApp? Bam. You have gotten them and put them here. You understand? Because once you are there, you can keep sending WhatsApp messages and all of that. From there, please, can you send your email address so that we can give you a list of this thing? You've gotten their email, WhatsApp, and email. And then, so if whether they buy from you that time or not, you've gotten them where you want them, and you can keep retargeting and keep reselling to them, you know.
Interesting. But how can you balance creativity with data-driven decision-making?
Oh, this is a very good question, because, I mean, it's easy for you to let me be creative, which is, let's find trends and this thing. Always look at your insights. Data will tell you what your customers actually like. Creativity can get their attention, you know, those the viral trend. I'm not against trends in this. So I've seen trends go up, come down, but the data and the strategy will remain. The fundamentals don't change, you know. So data will tell you what your customers actually like. So your insights, your data. So let's say you notice videos of children trying on school shoes, get more engagement than flagged products, pictures. You tell, let's do more videos of that because they're seeing more engagement. The data is telling you what gives you more results. So why don't you go for that? You know. So that tells you how to focus and what you should focus on more and how to achieve more results. But the thing is, you can't even get the data if you are not being consistent over time, following a proper strategy that can now tell you, okay, after 3 months, I usually advise people that as a business owner, if you want to focus on digital marketing, give it 3 months of being consistent. After 3 months, you can now go back to the data and see what worked and then tweak your strategy to improve, you know, upon the things that work as against the ones that didn't work. You know, so marketing at the end of the day is an experiment. If you don't, it's when you've entered, you now know, okay, this is doing better than the other one, and then you can now continue from there.
Okay, interesting so far your responses. For those who are listening to us, we are discussing building a digital brand that actually sells. We are live on Facebook at Today 95.1 FM. So, Andre, what platforms currently offer the best opportunities for brand growth and sales?
Okay, so come ça, because if I just say, this particular platform is that, a lot of people will leave what's already working for them and then jump to the platform. However, we've seen that it depends on the demographics, you know. For the upwardly mobile, forward-facing group of people, I would say Instagram is a great one. Then for the younger demographic. Oh, I just copied what was on Facebook and put on Instagram, like cross-posting or whatever.
Yeah.
You realize that particular type of content will do better on one platform than another, because different platforms require different styles of. Like Facebook is more of a storytelling thing and all of that. Instagram is very visual. TikTok is like a good mix of the two, because TikTok but TikTok is more authentic in a way that you can actually post a picture that really is not very clear and all of that. But quality wise and all of that. But people that relate with it will relate with it. So TikTok is more relatable, especially for information and all of that. For Instagram, you have to put your best foot forward, because for Instagram, you have to act like you're coming to the Grammys every single time. Long form content. Facebook does very well for long form content, actually. And then those texts, stuff and everything. So at the end of the day, find what works for you. But these are the main platforms. So, and find that visibility that you're looking for. Then have a system to channel that visibility into action for your brand, which will eventually be sales.
This question is very important to me. What does consistency look like in a successful digital brand strategy?
Okay, thank you. So this question, a lot of people will be like, consistency means showing up every day. Yes, and that's not the complete answer. Consistency means maintaining a clear message. You can consistently post 2 times a week.
Okay.
But in that 2 times a week you're posting, you are clear that and build businesses outside of a 9 to 5 so that they can take care of their families more. That's your niche, that's your target audience. And you keep talking about things that have to do with that space, that body of people, That is consistency. Showing up with the same message. Showing up every day is one part, but showing up with the same message, with the same solution to a problem. That way, all the people that need you, your niche will find you, because you're always there stating what works for them. So that's actually what consistency is. So they should keep seeing that message repeatedly through everything you're doing, the offers or the customer reviews, everything. So that's where consistency lies.
My final question to you, Andre. Okay. What practical advice would you give to someone trying to turn their digital presence into a profitable brand?
Start simple. Take it step by step. Then leverage the data, leverage what's the amazing things you can do with AI. Have a system, build structure, and as a leverage strategy. Because if you don't know what you're doing at the beginning, you think, I'm doing. But it's not getting you results, because you didn't map it out from the very beginning. So, like, let's say you're selling shoes and bags, for example. Use clear pictures and videos. That doesn't mean the person must have an iPhone. This is because I know how a lot of people look for excuses and reasons not to do anything. So then always respond like, be ready to sell. Because you came to sell markets. That's it now. So a brand from scratch. Things will take time. So if you're not going to just be posting randomly, so every post has to take people to somewhere, has to help people understand their product and move them closer to buying. So and one last thing, as a business owner who is navigating social media to make sales, give yourself grace, but always try to show up for yourself every day. So that's it.
Andrea Chymdii, digital strategist, thank you for joining me on the show this week.
Thank you for having me.